Hi everyone. If you're sticking around for the paper piecing part of this video, I do appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and get started. This is again from KaDoodle Bug Designs, the pattern I'm working with. And again, I thought I had everything ready. I tell you, I'm putting the water on first, the little puddle at the bottom. I do have to look at the picture frequently because I have not pieced this at all, so I have no idea. I've dry pieced it when I first cut it out, but haven't done anything since then, and I've not ever put it together, so be a first for both of us. Okay, then I'm going to put on the wings. Anything that you see that goes behind is always going to go on first. Like this is behind the other pieces, so you know it goes on first. And trying to make sure I'm staying in frame here. I have a bad habit of not, so I apologize. That one really got off. Okay, that wing is good. Then we have the body part, and I'm going to put this on before I do anything further, because this will have to go on next because it goes behind the head, and I just kind of center that in there. I do take the headpiece and just lay that on there, so I have a bit of an idea of where this body needs to go. It somewhat follows, you know, the neck in here, but and you want to make sure you get it on the water a little bit, but otherwise you kind of have to go by guessing by golly how it fits in there. It's not an exact placement for it other than that neck area. And I'm just going to pick this up. I wanted to make sure I was covering both sides of the neck. Then I'm going to pop on his little feet, and I'm going to go this one first. It's got more of a spot for it because this is actually a splash, and a good thing I looked at the pattern. This goes on first, this splash here, because it goes behind this paw. There is a reason I look at this and dry piece it a little bit before I, you know, put it all, just put it right down. I have to get some glue gun and see if that will take the glue out of my fine tip. I've got like 3 metal fine tips. I gotta go and get some and try it. Okay, now we're good. And then this one goes pretty close to the other one. So I'm just trying to kind of get them at about the same angle though. So this one also, other than this little piece right here, it's hard to tell exactly. I'm gonna go with that. Okay, now we have the rest of, one of the raindrops will not be on here. The rest of them will. And one's gonna go right up here. And then we have the second to the smallest one. Oh, my watch is driving me nuts when it turns. It's going to go right in there. And then we have this little baby piece, and it's just going to go right up in here when we get that far. But first of all, I'm going to glue the head on. Normally I would probably use beacon glue, but I don't feel like fighting it with it tonight because it's getting low, and anyway, I can make this work. I would normally use Beacon because there's a lot more wiggle room time, so I'm just trying to be very careful. And excuse my inky fingers, I've been doing a lot of paper piecing today. And until I do dishes, I really have a struggle getting them cleaned off. So, and it's time to clean my sponge daubers, and that is one job I dread. I don't know why, but I'm gonna have to get in there and do it. So kind of trying to turn that a little bit so it matches the top, because these are not perfectly round. If you've ever noticed that, they are a little bit flattened. They're just a tiny bit of an oval. Okay, put my black pieces over there so I could keep track of them. Black on black, doesn't work well. And I hope you can see this okay. It's so much easier for me to work on this grid most of the time, this mat, so. That is why I do it most of the time. Okay, before I do that, I want to doing this wrong. I want to put the mouth together. And the mouth is actually, okay, I have to think about this. Let's see how this goes. I get this wrong all the time on ducks. So it doesn't fit that way. I'll figure this out. Okay, this middle piece matches this. That would have been too smart to figure out at the beginning. But there's your mouth. And after I get it put together right, it looks fine. I don't know why some days lately I can't get things to, figure out, so. All right. And when I look at the piece on the computer, much better. So before we do that, let's get his or her cheeks chalked up. Okay, and try to get this done without, excuse my reach there, everything falling over, and got a hold of another paper piece by accident, so I was trying to be careful. Trying to get this kind of light, so I'm going to use some light pressure. I can always add more, but I tend to put a little too much on, so just kind of come in with a little bit of, like I said, light pressure. Okay. That I didn't want to do, really. Take this eraser and kind of erase them. I'll leave it alone. I don't have a big old mess. Okay. Eyes. 1, 2. These eyes I'm not going to put eyelashes on just because they're too close to the outside and they just don't work. So see what we can figure out of what we want to do. Waiting for my glue. I'm always fighting with glue lately. Either I don't have enough or it won't come out. Yeah, it's just a case. just holding the mouth on. It's not on tight yet. It's not glued down. Okay. And it needs to go way over because this one is, these are big eyes and I don't want them, you know, overlapping. So trying to think what I'm going to do with the eyes. I think I'm going to leave them. I'm not going to do anything because I don't have the option to make eyelashes on it. So, and since that's the case, I don't want to put any black chalk around the edges or anything. Yeah, I just will leave it alone. But let's do some pen work here. Because the blacks are a little bit bigger, I'm going to make the white circles a little bit bigger. This one a little more circular. This one just a hair bigger. I'm going to quit because the more I try to fix it, the more it'll start to smear and it won't cover right with the white pens. So don't want to do any more. Do his nose. Ducks I always think have to have freckles. I'm not sure why, but that's just me. I haven't decided yet, and who knows when I will, if I'm going to put glossy accents on the I can't think tonight, the water. Been a long day, lots going on. Excuse me. I'm half tempted to, but I kind of make a mess with it sometimes, so we'll see. I don't know. Okay, and that is my paper piecing. Like I said, unless I do some glossy accents, but that is my finished little duck. And yeah, I'm going to put the card together real quick if you want to stick around for that. I've just used some of my Spellbinders dies to make my base. Basically, you take your card piece, fold it in half, and I use the biggest, let's see, petite scalloped ovals, the small from Spellbinders. I'm not sure what set it is, it's been around forever. But once your paper's folded in half, you take your die to it. You leave just a little bit up at the top that's open because you don't want it to cut there. So you run it through your cutting machine, cut just a single piece of this same die, but cut the full die out. You want the full piece. And then whatever layering pieces you want to use. I'm using the matching non-scalloped part to go in here. I'm going to do the bottom piece first. Let me get stinky glue out. I don't need it to go all the way to the edge because I will be using my bone folder to move the glue around. This glue I have to keep capped because there's quite an odor to it. So, and then I'm just putting this in. This is just another next layer down of the scalloped dies. That was too plain for me, just one layer. But I'm not, so far, not popping anything up. I'll do the sentiment in a moment. My sentiment, I'm not going to do that until I get the top done so I know how far down I want it. So I'm going to work on this piece next. I just split my colors. I did ink all of my edges on everything, even the white and the real light colors this time. Just wanted to give it more dimension. I'm not very good at, excuse me, making cards, or excuse me, envelopes for, what do I want to say, for chunky cards. And especially my little cards, they get kind of chunky. Now the one thing I struggle with, and maybe you guys do too, I don't know, is getting my ovals somewhat straight. I've heard from other people ovals are very difficult to get straight. So, and I forgot to mention that. I'll show you quick on the base of the card also what you need to do. If this is not perfectly straight here in the middle, it's not the end of the world. On the base of the card, on the top layer, you do need to burnish it or score it so it's in half, fits in half. Do the best you can. I didn't get exact, but when you put this down on here, it still works. I don't know exactly how to explain it, but so it doesn't have to be exact. Now I'm coming in with the different die that I have, and this is popped up, run through an embossing folder, and then the next layer down. And yes, I got some ink on it, and actually it's fine. It will be covered up with the duck. If you're wondering, this is just a beacon glue for foam and poster board, and it really works fine on regular paper too. So this I'm going to put, oops, this one I'm putting this way, and just kind of centering it best I can here. I want to hold it up and get it a little bit straighter this way. Might be wise too. Pretty good. We're gonna leave it. I'm gonna lose that little piece of that little raindrop yet. I just know it. Or water droplet. Okay, let's try to get this straight on there, right? And then that piece is not on foam. This is not going to be on foam. It's just going to go just right like this. And I'm putting it so it basically meets the bottom down here. So I'm just looking to see where I need to put adhesive. The nice thing about this beacon adhesive, it's 1.75 ounces. It is $1 a bottle at the dollar store, at the Dollar Tree. We got it. So it is relatively cheap, I must say. I like that. Okay, before I lose this little piece, try to get it on without making a mess. And since it won't fit right in here, I'm just going to put it right up here. It's not how the pattern has it. It does not matter. Okay, so to put the card together, we only put glue on this bottom half. I usually put glue on both pieces, and it may not get all the way up to half, but kind of judge just to make sure I have plenty. Okay, I'm going to lay this down and line up my scallops at the bottom. I'm going to unfold this to make sure I get it fairly straight. Otherwise, if it's just a tiny bit crooked when you scored the middle, you're going to be way off. So, okay, then I'm just going to figure out where I want my sentiment. More toward the bottom. You could do a lot more to embellish this. I mean, you could put some sequins, or I may come in with some glitter glue or Nuvo drops. You'd never know. But and there it just sits like that. I don't know if you can see my, I'm going to turn it a little bit, my finished card. But just a cute, quick little card, but fun if you have someone, you know, you're just giving a little gift or something, you just want to put something in, or something you want to put in your kids' room, or give them if they're having a bad day, or, you know, just anything, cheer somebody up. It's kind of cute. So I do want to thank you for joining me. If you have any questions, please leave a comment at the bottom, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Otherwise, have a great day. Take care.